I've been thinking a lot about creativity and why we create. One of the conversation has to do with our our vulnerability and how creativity can be a reaction to our own vulnerability. Um, there's a quote by Madeline L'Engle, Engel, no, Engel, Madeline Engel. When we're children, we think that when we're grown up, right, that we would no longer be vulnerable. But to grow up is to accept vulnerability, to believe, and I think understand our own vulnerability. What does that has to do with creativity? Here's the point. When I was a kid, or when anyone's a kid, everything, the world is much smaller, okay, and anything can affect us, right? I think about those poor kids in Gaza or Ukraine, gosh, think about how vulnerable they must feel. Uh, my vulnerabilities weren't as bad, let's face it, scrapes from falling or, fall off my bicycle. But then later, getting sort of punched by kids at school and insults, those kind of vulnerabilities. Even a certain teacher that taught music, of all things, uh, made you feel kind of small. So my reaction to that was to uh, mostly go into music. It could also be shooting basketball or, God, well, you get a little older and you start going like, okay, well, I'll try a cigarette, and or I'll drink a little bit, Those are other ways to deal with vulnerability that aren't so great. But art, and I didn't even suspect that it was a thing, but I was doing music, right? I'd get home from school, I'd get out my guitar, I'd play a song, I'd get home from school, I'd turn the music on my stereo, doom, 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 I'd get home from music. By the time I was 13, I had a drum set. Yeah, I did that. Sometimes I'd try to break the cymbal, you know. Never happened. I never hit it hard enough to break a cymbal. Anyway, that was vulnerability being answered by a creativity, by a creative act. It is one of the reasons that we are creative. It's not the only reason, but it is one of the reasons, and I wanted to share that so you could think about that. I will continue to post things, and hopefully we'll continue this conversation. But if I dare ask that you like and subscribe, whatever. Vulnerability, creativity, peace. Have a good day. Think about that.